still Veiga.
Oh,
Come
it is?
on.
You didn't change it?
Please.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I love it. I love it.
Can people hear the music?
Yeah, it's the intro. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense what I'm doing.
No, it's going to be so weird. It's going to be weird, but it's good. It's good. All right, cool. So, hey, guys, I got Marina Veiga, recently married, kept her last name. I just asked her off screen, did she change her name? She said...
I changed it on the gram and on Facebook, but nowhere
I knew
else.
it. I knew it.
I did. That's why you said it.
I knew there was something there. Awesome. So cool. So Marina's an attorney.
Yep.
She does immigration law. Wait, backtrack. An amazing attorney. She does immigration law.
Yes.
I met you 2 ways.
Yeah.
You knew your sister is my wife's bestie.
Yep.
And FIU Law.
That's right.
Best law school in the country?
Yep.
Maybe.
No, totally. Not
better than Harvard?
Yes.
Yeah, I love the vibe at FIU Law. Go FIU Law. Shout out.
Through and through.
Go Panthers. Paws up.
Golden
Panthers?
Golden Panthers.
Yeah.
And gold and blue are our colors.
Oh, gold and blue, yeah. Our law firm colors are blue and yellow.
Oh.
But that's my Bobcat Boca High colors from high school. And we set the standards.
I see the theme here.
Totally got it from, I was in ROTC in high school.
Oh, really?
And their motto was, we set the standards, and we kept it. We set the standards.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice catch line. But yeah, I was there when you made that donation to the Career Center.
Oh, stop it. Cut this out of the podcast.
It was so funny. My sister was like, Marina.
Were you a student there when that happened?
I was a student. It was my first year.
Oh, okay.
And my sister's like, Marina, I think Abe is doing a thing at the school. You should reach out to him. You should go see him. You know.
Yeah, you came to that, right?
Yeah,
you were there.
I was like VIP. I showed up and Abe's like, oh yeah, this is Marina. Nobody knew me, right?
Oh yeah.
1L first year student, and then you're like, oh hey Marina. All of a sudden, all the deans know my name. It was great.
Oh
yeah.
You're welcome.
You really put me up.
Was that a good thing?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was good to be on the radar for some things, but not all things.
There you go. Is her audio good?
I was just checking on that.
Okay.
So, nope.
Cool.
Yeah, we can continue.
Good. Okay, cool. So, awesome. So that could be a good thing, a bad thing with the deans knowing your name. I fly low, below the radar. I don't want anybody to know my name. I see a dean, I keep my head low. I kept going. I didn't want to be. I don't want to be on anybody's radar. But yeah, so I kind of blew up your spot. Okay.
That was fun though. That was a nice little ceremony.
That was fun.
Your name's still there on the door. So
my name's there. Yeah, they moved it. It used to be big on the wall,
Yeah.
and then they moved the career planning and placement office over to another spot because they needed that for something else, whatever. And they asked me if they could move it, and I said sure. That was Dean Acosta.
Yeah,
love him.
love him.
Sorry to see how those things went down for him, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So you went to FIU Law.
Yep.
Best law school in town.
Yep.
Graduated, became an attorney, worked at a huge immigration firm.
Yes.
Learned everything.
Yes.
What'd you do while you were at that firm?
Mostly the focus was business immigration.
Okay.
And
Like corporate clients?
Yeah, when you say business immigration, you're casting a very wide net, but it's mostly employment visas. So
Cool.
companies that want to bring people here to work for a short period of time, companies that want to bring people to work here for a long period of time. So I really got my feet wet there. I got a lot of experience, a lot of exposure. I worked with high net worth individuals that were more investment based. So they, they wanted to come to the United States. They wanted a visa, whether that be a green card, which is a permanent, a permanent visa. You're here for a very long time, or more short-term visa. There's investment-based options where you can invest money here at the United States, and that will allow you to be here, whether it's for a short period of time or a long period of time. So I did a lot of that.
Yeah, what's that one visa where people with money, I think it's like, it might have gone up the number, but it's like 100,000, 200,000, and you bring money in, you buy a business, you own it and manage it, and you can get some kind of permanent residency, or what's that called?
So there's 2 types for investors. If you're an investor and you want to come to the United States, there's 2 visas that you're looking at. One is the E2. It's a non-immigrant visa.
Okay.
It means that it's only good for a certain amount of time, but you can renew it so long as your business continues to do well.
Okay.
But that one you can invest anywhere from 120, 150. The more you invest, the better. There's no real definition in the law as to what you need to invest that money with. So I have a client from Canada that reached out to me last week.
Okay.
She wants to open up a hair salon. Yeah, you can do that. you
down here in Florida.
Down here in Florida.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming down to Florida. We got Governor DeSantis here. We love him. We love him here in Florida.
So that's one idea. You open up
Okay.
like a beauty salon, but you can do anything with an E2. We've had clients that open up a jet, they have a jet and they open up a charter company, right?
Okay.
With E2, you can do anything with an E2.
Oh, cool.
So E2 is that it's you're making an investment here, a substantial investment in the United States. There's no definition in the law as to how much money you need to invest.
Okay.
And then on the other side of that, if you're looking for a permanent solution, a green card, there's the EB5, which I worked a lot with when I was at my previous firm. But it's just been such a rocky climate for EB5 in the last couple of years. It used to be 500,000. The minimum investment went up to 900,000.
Wow.
And then, yeah. And
All those Russian oligarchs are diving into that.
luckily, I
right now.
never had a Russian client, but that's a really messy.
There's Russian people out there like, what did you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's just messy.
Yeah.
We had some.
Oh, because of the Russia stuff?
Because you have to trace the funds and show that the money is legitimate.
Oh.
And, certain countries don't have the best rep.
Oh. Like Colombia.
Colombia wasn't too hard. I've done a lot of Colombian EB5s, and it wasn't too difficult.
Yeah.
Really interesting. A lot of Colombian wealth is actually Europe. Like it's people that fled Europe, came to or went to Colombia, established a business there, and then the family became wealthy. So I did a lot of that. Venezuela is really hard though. It's difficult to get money out of Venezuela, and if you didn't get your money out a long time ago when it was still possible, then we turned down a lot of EB5s because it was not clean.
Oh, you can't prove it's clean.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you can't prove it's clean, then you can't do it.
So Colombia, I own a business in the country, Colombia, and it took us at least 6 months to open a bank account. We had to grease some palms. We had to put out death threats on certain bankers and their children and their families.
I believe it.
It was tough. No. Leave this. Don't cut this part. This is the truth, man. I had to get on the phone with everybody, the mayor of Medellin.
Yeah.
I had to get with everybody about it because it was tough to open it. And they said, "Oh, we have to make sure that you're not laundering money." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Why? So it was really tough. That's why I brought up Colombia. But they have a really intense relationship with the U.S. and we wire money there all the time. And they call us and say, "We just need to confirm this isn't laundering money." And I'm like, "What?"
They also don't believe in DocuSign.
They don't believe in
Really?
DocuSign in Colombia. I don't know.
In
South
Brazil,
America, they do.
Yeah.
Oh.
In Brazil, it's very widely used and
Oh,
accepted.
in Colombia, they refuse DocuSign. They feel it's an illegitimate document, even though, like it says, ratified by EU, whatever, all these places. They refuse to accept it as a legal form. They're contract-based employment over there, so when you onboard a new employee, they have to sign a contract, just one page, whatever. And they're like, "We don't do DocuSign. I want to come in the office. I want to see it. It's intense."
Yeah.
And it's for a job. It's like, really? But that's how they are.
Yeah, Latin America's a strange place. Different countries have different things that they want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything
Strange to
down
us.
there.
To them, they probably think DocuSign's weird. They're like, "Oh,
It's
focus,
just,
focus."
There's a lot of bureaucracy here, but there's a lot more down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did a lot of investment-based visas while I was at this prior firm.
The biggest
lot of
international
yes.
immigration firm
Yes.
in the world.
Yes. I got a lot of good experience there, exposure, learned a lot. And then I transitioned to the firm where I'm at now and still focusing on business immigration. But now I think we're looking around and we're seeing what's going on with the economy, and there is a severe shortage of labor here in the United States. So we're really trying to help businesses bring in the help that they need.
Okay.
And if you can't find it here, where are you going to find them? Somewhere else. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help businesses bring labor here to the United States and help their businesses.
So I'm a giant piece of shit.
Don't say that.
I am.
Hey,
I am. I'm outsourcing jobs to Colombia. That's what that business is. We don't import, export cocaine. We are using the bilingual community in Colombia to, answer phones, do back-end administrative stuff. What you do is different. I said I'm a giant piece of shit for the soundbite. We got to do a soundbite. So what you do is interesting. You actually help bring people into the U.S. for jobs like doctors, truckers.
Right. So
tell us about that.
You have a really good example there. So there are certain, looking at you own your own business, right? You got to look at the bottom line. There are certain jobs that perhaps you can outsource. Does somebody answering a phone need to be here in the United States?
No.
Probably not,
No.
right?
And the people in Colombia, by the way, when they answer the phone, are so nice.
Yeah.
They are muy amable, very nice people.
Is that the extent of your Spanish there?
No, yo puedo hablar
learn more.
español. My favorite dicho is ponte las pilas. That means
I don't know what
put
that
the batteries in, hurry your ass up. Move it, move it, move it. That's what ponte las pilas means, yeah. I'm sure there's 10. I got a shirt with that phrase and my face on it in Colombia. Passed it out to all the staff. I love that phrase.
We should give her one today.
Yeah,
we'll get you one. We'll get you one. Yeah.
I'm actually upset you didn't give me one when I walked right in. Come on.
We got you. Don't worry. So answering phones, obviously
Yeah, right.
they could do that anywhere in the world.
Certain jobs you can
Yeah.
outsource and you can have help out abroad. And I think that's a model that a lot of large businesses have adopted, whether it's an immigration firm or a PI firm, whatever firm, or other businesses. There are things that we can outsource, right? And it can be done abroad. There are things that you need here.
Right.
So for the staffing shortage that there is in the United States for jobs that really require people here to do the work, then immigration might be an avenue to get that help that you need. So
Okay.
I'll give you an example, and you mentioned it already, truckers, right? Last year, you could, at any given moment, Google truckers, and the first thing would pop up is how there's a massive shortage of truckers. And I think in November, there was, right before Christmas, there was a 8-mile long pileup of
in California on the ocean.
LA. Yeah, those were.
That's because all those Californians out in Cali don't want to work. That's why they don't know what it means to work.
There's no truck. There's a shortage of truckers in the United States.
Yeah.
And you can't outsource that job. You need that person here.
Right.
So
Somebody's got to drive that truck unless we get those Tesla trucks going, cyber trucks. What's up?
Long term. I think
long away.
I think that is coming. I think that's definitely a solution, but that's a long term solution.
Yeah. The last thing I want is a truck fully loaded driving around town with nobody in the front seat, killing people.
What a scary thought, right?
It is scary.
Imagine looking over and there's nobody driving that 18-wheeler, right?
Well, it's better than, I don't know if I want that or a guy hyped up on meth who's been driving for 48 hours straight.
Right.
We'll see.
That's true. They have a lot of restrictions on the truckers. I think they're only allowed to drive 8-10 hours, but
that's for the people you work with. I'm a car accident lawyer. I see people in Miami all the time. They own their own trucking company, so they're 1099, right? So
that's the business.
That's
in summary.
Yeah, so it's a guy who owns his own truck and he does sub work for someone else. You'll never find out who it is.
Right.
And they drive with no insurance and they drive whatever. There's no maintenance on the trucks. I mean, it's awful what they do. But you work with obviously legitimate companies that need workers for trucking.
Yeah, like transportation logistics. Right. Any company that works in transportation logistics, they are moving stuff around in trucks.
Okay.
And they need truckers. And where are those truckers coming from? There's a huge
Where are they coming
need.
from now with you? Where do you get them from?
So one of our clients is a recruiting company.
Okay.
And they recruit all over the world, but Africa, Europe, South America.
Okay.
A lot of truckers come from South Africa.
South Africa, okay.
Or Southern Africa, I should say, all those countries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the one country, yeah.
That and, everywhere else around, like Namibia. Can you point to that on the map?
Namibia? I can't even say it. It sounds like amoeba. People watching this are like, what the hell's amoeba?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Everybody look up where Namibia is.
Namibia.
Yeah. Djibouti is a country, by the way.
Djibouti I've heard of. That was in a movie somewhere, Djibouti. I remember that. I was like, Djibouti? That's a funny name.
So that's one place where, you can, we have, through the recruiting company, have found the resources to fill that need in the United States of truckers. The other one that's huge right now, obviously, is nurses.
Well, doctors. Right. I got a call from a doctor. I represent a lot of doctors. I got a call from a doctor. He's complaining how I was telling him about my company in Colombia for his phones. He said, Abe, I don't have anyone to answer the phones, and you're telling me they're bilingual. How many can I get? And I was like, let's talk. And then he complained about he has urgent cares, needing nurses and or doctors, and then I put him in touch with you. And so what do you guys do for that? You can get doctors to
doctors
get nurses?
are a little bit Right. So doctors are a little bit harder to bring here because there's licensure requirements and visa screens. But, you know, a nurse is a little bit easier.
Okay.
There's still a visa screen and there's still licensure requirements. They have to pass the NCLEX and all that.
Okay.
But like and I'll give you another example. The emergency clinic, yes, they're going to need help. You know, they can recruit on their own or they can recruit through a recruiting company, find the help, and then we can do the immigration case to bring them here.
Okay.
But another example of a severe shortage here in the United States is dental assistants. We represent a lot of dental clinics that one of our dental clinics, it's a chain of dental clinics here in West Palm Beach. They're closing one of their offices because they literally don't have enough staff to staff that office. And when I talked to your friend, the urgent care clinic, he was telling me, listen, we want to expand, but we can't even see ourselves doing that because I don't even have enough people to keep one clinic open, let alone two.
Right.
So
it's tough.
You can either recruit on your own, you can find a recruiting company that will do the recruiting for you abroad. And then when you find that talent, you know, it's a long-term process. It's an investment.
Oh, okay.
But it's a solution. And the idea is to build a pipeline of help that you can tap them in at any point. Like, oh, you know, someone quit this week and we need somebody here as soon as possible. Tap, let's bring you in.
So what do these people get paid? Because if I'm going to hire a nurse from another country and pay for them to get immigration process over here, recruit them from overseas, deal with all that. Like, for instance, here in the U.S., I had an employee from, you know, one random state in the U.S. Everybody's like, I'm going to Florida. You got the best governor in the country. He's amazing. We need him for president 2024. And I was like, yeah. And they said, I'm coming down. And I'm like, okay. And then, you know, I need time to move. I need time to get an apartment. I need time to settle in. And can I start in a month? And I was like, okay. And then the month comes by and they don't show.
Right.
So it's kind of a headache to get people that aren't just like, oh yeah, you start tomorrow.
Definitely.
What's the how do you make sure these people stay with you after you invest the time and energy to bring them here, and then actually like what if they suck? Do they suck ever?
That's a great point.
What if they're lazy?
That's the thing. I think if you know, I'll give you the example of the dental assistants. It's called the prevailing wage. So part of the process is we have to ask the Department of Labor, hey, Department of Labor, the company wants to hire somebody for this position. These are the requirements of the position. How much does that position need to get paid? Right. Okay. That's one of the first steps of doing this process. It's called an EB-3. It's the PERM process for unskilled workers.
Whoa.
That's the word. It's
unskilled workers.
Totally a misnomer.
Wow. There's a lot of dental assistants out there that are going to mess up your teeth when they hear that. Unskilled.
Misnomer, because there is a lot of skill required. And a lot of the companies that end up using this EB-3, you know, it's technically called an unskilled worker, but
that's a legal term the government made.
Yeah.
Probably under the Biden administration they made that term.
A very long time ago. It was not under the Biden administration. I don't know which one created it.
I love throwing little jabs in there.
No.
My son goes to me.
I'm trying to dodge them.
I know. You're like hardcore dem over here. It's all good. But no, my son, he goes, Dad, I can't do it. I said, Jordan, if Joe Biden can become president, you can do this, okay? And he goes, okay. He's 8. I love him.
I bet he loves Biden now.
No.
He's my role
He says the funniest things. He goes, Mom, why is the gas so expensive? Is it because of Joe Biden? And I go, that's right, son. I told her. She goes, that's right, son.
Oh, man. Katie's in on this, too?
Oh, are you kidding me? Katie converted me. Kidding me? Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I'm drinking the baptismal waters, man. She's just sprinkling them on me. I love you, honey, if you're watching this.
Hi, Katie. Miss you.
So, okay, Biden administration aside, unskilled workers. Okay, Joe Biden called them unskilled workers.
Misnomer. The talent that is needed here in the United States, right? The gaps in the labor market tends to be more of that entry-level position, you know, that people may not have the skills to do. And the example there is carpentry, masonry, you know, there's not that talent. There's not people going to school here in the United States. Hey, I want to learn to be a carpenter, right? Mm-hmm. There are people abroad that know how to do that very well.
Okay.
So even though it's called unskilled worker because it's based on how much education they've acquired.
Okay.
Right? So it'll be, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, And you don't need any of that to become a carpenter, but you need that period, right? You need that skill set in order to make something with wood. So, right. So I was talking about the prevailing wage. So you have to submit an application to the Department of Labor, and then they tell you how much you have to pay that employee.
Okay.
Right? And the funny thing is that the Department of Labor hasn't really caught up with what's gone on in the economy, which is if you go work, and the example is, like Amazon and Home Depots, right? They're paying their clerks, the people at the register, they're paying them $15 an hour, right?
Yeah.
The prevailing wage, what the government tells you need to pay a dental assistant is $13 in West Palm Beach in South Florida.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I know this because I was looking at this yesterday. $13.81.
$13 to hire a dental assistant. Wow. I'm just going to, can I
So-
get one and
so-
just have him clean my teeth every day?
Who is going to want to take that job? And what happened is before the pandemic, those clerks at these big companies that can offer all these benefits, right? If you go work at Home Depot, you go work at Amazon, you're getting paid a salary, but you're also getting a bunch of benefits.
Okay.
They were getting paid like $10, $8 to $10 an hour.
Yeah.
And the dental assistants were getting paid their $15 an hour, $14 an hour, right?
U.S. dental assistants or overseas?
US,
okay, U.S. dental assistants, 15.
That's been the salary.
Okay,
But
wow.
then post-pandemic, everybody's getting that 15. Everyone is now getting $15 an hour, right? Why are you going to go work as a dental assistant in a high-stress environment where, if you mess up someone's teeth,
Right.
it's painful, it's stressful.
It is.
When you could
they
go
have a high
work-
suicide rate, dentists.
They do.
Do.
Yeah, not dental assistants, though.
Just
Yeah.
a dentist? Wow.
So why are you going to go work in that position of, high stress, subject yourself to this high stress environment when you can make that same money working at Home Depot or Amazon,
Right.
and get all these benefits. So it's interesting for the employer in the sense that the prevailing wage, the minimum requirement that you have to pay is not as high as, again, the Department of Labor hasn't really caught on. And we find that, when you're offering somebody a job and let's say they're in Colombia, right? There's not a lot of opportunity in Colombia like there is here in the United States.
Oh my God, yeah. There's so
Yeah.
many opportunities here, yeah.
So oftentimes these people are really grateful. And they're committed to you and you're committed to them. So you make that investment in them, you screen them properly. Hey, do you have experience? Do you really want to work in this career? Is this really what you want? Look at their background. Have they worked with in this industry before? Is this something that you think they're going to keep wanting doing and doing it for you?
Yeah.
And there's no real way for you to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to help you get this green card. I'm going to sponsor you for your green card. And then you're married to us. You can't do that. The law doesn't offer that. But screening them properly, and also some companies that recruit and staff, they have contracts with these employees where if they don't work for a certain amount of time, then they have to pay damages.
Oh.
So, some recruiting companies do that. But for a small business, the best thing to do is really just screen your employees properly, like make sure, hey, is this really something you want to do?
Yeah.
And then, when they get here, they're going to be raw. You're going to have to train them. But a lot of the times these people are so committed to you. They're so grateful to you that, we see when you treat people properly and you give them the proper training. And also going back to the dental assistant position, that's entry level. You're going to start there, but then you're going to grow to a dental hygienist. And then maybe you want to become a dentist one day, and you just grow in the company.
Right.
So
there's room for growth for them too.
Yeah.
And then they obviously send some of that money back home. So if they're making $13 an hour here and they're sending it back to the Philippines or wherever,
right,
their family's doing more successful than they were. So a lot of people understand that. My staff in Colombia, they're so amazing and nice and happy to have to work. And I think part of that's their culture of that country, that region, but also 15% unemployment in Colombia. Right. So in the U.S. right now, you talked about the labor shortage. It's so weird. I don't know where everybody went. That I don't understand it. I think they all went to Target or something. I don't know.
I think what's happening is that people are, number one, there's a lot of people that left the workforce, right?
Yeah.
People that are early, they're getting up to retirement. All of a sudden, pandemic, all this technology. They're scared to go back to work, you know, for health reasons. And now I have to work remotely. I don't really dig this remote work. I'm just going to retire early. So a lot of people left the workforce to retire.
Okay.
And then there's also, you know, I forget the word. They were called she-session. A lot of women.
Yeah.
Because
taking care of the kids.
Yeah. I mean, how many times in my office, you know, we have 13 employees. How many times at our office, kid gets sick at the school, and all of a sudden someone else tested positive for COVID, and then the whole class is out for the week.
Yeah.
You know, and that falls a lot on the mother. So a lot of women have pulled back from the workforce.
Right.
And then I think another part of it is there's a lot of jobs that people just don't want to do. You know? So it's like a mismatch between the willingness of people, what they want to do, and what's available to them.
Right. So, servers, for instance, I went to Chipotle. They had a sign on the door said, place all orders through the app. We will not serve you.
Really?
Yeah, because they have two stations, one for the app and one for online orders and one for in-person. And, you know, they're tired of the customer going there like, I don't know, I want lettuce. It's like, dude, if you've been to Chipotle once, you've been 1,000 times.
You're getting
your
the same
order,
thing.
move on, let's go, chop. And so they just do it online. It prints, and they make it. And there was another restaurant that said, this was a nice restaurant, and they had a thing. Everywhere you go, there's a labor shortage. Please don't be rude to our staff because we don't want them to quit because you're rude. Something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
I'm definitely going to name drop here, but this is my favorite restaurant around, Casa Maya in Deerfield. Best Mexican. Everybody
Mexican?
go there.
Casa
It's
Maya?
really good. Yeah, really good.
Who?
Casa Maya.
I never heard of it. Is it
It's
where
really
in
good.
Deerfield?
It's in the Cove Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like the Cove. I haven't
It's
been there
small.
since I was in college, but yeah.
Very, very good
cool
restaurant. So Mexican, right?
Cool.
I go there very regularly with my friends.
Casa La Aqua in Del Rey is my favorite. For anyone who wants to know, it's Italian food.
All right, we'll talk about your favorite Mexican later.
Yeah.
So I go there pretty regularly with my friends, and we showed up one week, and there was a sign on the door that said, "We closed for the week to give our staff time off to recuperate." You know, they need a They need a breather. That's basically what the sign said. And I was like, "Oh wow, they closed for a whole week because people were so mean
That's
to
crazy.
their staff." It's happening a lot.
Yeah.
But I'll give you another example. I have a client. It's a healthy food restaurant out in Parkland, right?
Okay.
And they want to hire a food and beverages director that has knowledge of the acai berry because that's part of what they serve.
Okay, that's a Brazilian fruit.
It's a Brazilian fruit. Yeah, very healthy.
To the bang.
To the bone. So we get on the phone. I'm telling him, hey, you want to hire this person. The prevailing wage is probably going to come back at $15 an hour. This is someone that's supervising. This is a food and beverages supervisor. So they're supervising other people. Right. And I'm like, hey, I just want to make sure that this is okay. The prevailing wage for this position is probably going to come back at $15 an hour. And he turns around to me and he says, Marina, I couldn't hire a dishwasher for $15 an hour right now. So I'm okay with that.
Can they get more money when they're here? You can't pay more than a prevailing wage.
You can't pay more. You can't pay less. So the
government, you got to pay that wage
minimally.
Oh, you can pay more.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the government's telling you got to pay this. That's the floor.
Okay.
And then they start working for you. You like them. They're doing well. You want to grow. You want them to grow internally. So you give them a raise. You give them another raise. You give them new title, new position, whatever it is.
Okay. Did you want to hear something crazy about my office?
Please.
Once a month, massage in the office, 15 minutes per employee. Once a month.
Are you hiring?
To keep the staff. I had 4 people quit in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. All for different reasons. I felt like a bad person because I was like, is it me? But they all have their own reasons. But anyways, massages once a month, 15 minutes per person with my favorite massage therapist who's I've known for like over 10 years now. And I was like, yeah, do you want to do this? She's like, oh my God, I would love to. So she's here for 2 days, 15 minutes a piece. She massages for like a couple hours, like maybe 5 hours a day for 2 days a month. We do it in the Miami office. The other offices, we haven't done it yet because it's not enough people to really hire a massage therapist for a few hours.
Right.
But still have people leave. I'm like, this is insane. I blame Joe Biden for this. I know you feel opposite, but
We agree to disagree.
It's the pandemic. This is the pandemic. It's all insanity. I don't blame Joe Biden for that.
It's crazy that
it is weird.
I don't know where people are going. I question whether they go off and do their. I mean, for a long time there was a lot of income programs that people didn't have to go back to work,
like
right?
Unemployment,
right.
the COVID paychecks.
Right. Yes,
yeah.
correct. Yeah. So all of that was really. I get that. Okay, people not wanting to go back to work because they're getting paid the same to stay at home than they would go going out there and working.
Or if they just stay home, they don't have to pay for gas. They don't have to pay for food outside the house. It's just cheaper and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I get that, but that's gone now.
Yeah, it's been gone.
It's been gone.
Yeah.
So what are people doing? I don't know. I think maybe there's a lot of entrepreneurship. Maybe people are opening up their own businesses.
Yeah.
A lot of people are working remotely.
A lot of remote workers. I've never had a remote worker. I have someone in Georgia. I have an attorney in Jacksonville, an attorney in Eustis. I had another attorney in Orlando. Who else is remote work? I have a Tampa employee remote. We don't have an office in Tampa. They're at Gainesville.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. And with the software that we use, we can track things now. We have, thank God for technology, we're able to track performance. And if they're not performing, it's like, you're out.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. But I would have said, no, you're crazy. I could have had a rock star attorney be like, I'll work for $15 an hour in God knows what part of town, Wyoming. And I'd be like, no way, that sounds ridiculous. But now and with court, you could do Zoom and stuff like that. So it's way better.
Immigration's gone to court online, virtual as well.
Oh my God. How amazing is that for you guys, right?
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I never go to court, but now I'll really never go to court.
Those immigration courthouses is probably like just gross, right?
The one in Miami is pretty nice, actually. It's right by the river. You're looking at the river. It's really nice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a federal courthouse or it's just immigration?
It's just immigration.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's maybe 9 blocks south of the federal courthouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
But I think the remote work is here to stay. This is the new composition of our workforce. So what do we do? Where are we going to get the work? Where are we going to get the labor, rather?
Yeah.
So
you just reminded me about that cat guy with the Zoom thing. I'm not a cat.
I just sent that to my friends like a few weeks ago because it was the 1-year anniversary.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
So I sent that out to all my friends. I was like, people don't forget.
Can you imagine people hired that guy to be their attorney at some point in his 30-year career? Like,
I wish I knew what he looked like because the filter never came off.
Oh, I don't remember.
You know?
I assumed it was, I don't want to. I assumed it was an older white
Me
man
too.
with like a bald head
It seemed
and all
like it was
white
Georgia
hair.
or Louisiana or something.
Somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. They never showed his face. I'm sure it was on the internet because I saw his face. He's an older white dude.
I definitely didn't see it. And during the video, they don't show his face because he never figured out how to take off the cat filter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody hired that guy. Somebody probably paid a lot of money. He's probably like a really prominent attorney in his town, and now his career is over.
Oh, man. Or maybe it was great marketing for him.
Way. No way. Hire the cat lawyer. Jeez.
The cat filter guy.
Man. So do you guys have a flat fee for this service, or is it?
Yeah. So a lot of immigration is flat fee. That's, I think one of the big differences between what we do versus what, other attorneys do. A lot of attorneys work hourly.
Okay.
We don't. It's flat fee.
Okay.
So we charge one fee to get you from the beginning of the process to the end.
Okay.
No matter how long it takes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And if it's an employment-based application, some employment-based visas, by law, the government requires the employer to pay for all of it, and some don't. Okay. So it depends which one you're talking about.
Oh, does the employee pay your fees?
The employee can pay our fees sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an investment on both parts.
Oh, so then they're committed to working.
They're committed. They're committed. You're committed. And you again, I think a big part of it is screening them properly, making sure, you don't want to hire somebody to come work for you as a dental assistant if maybe they have spent their entire career doing something else abroad. Yeah.
Well, that's why we only hire at the law office for paralegals, stuff like that. We usually hire someone who's got experience because we know they're committed to this industry.
Right.
I mean, so many times I've found a person, they were a restaurant server, train them. They're great. And then they're like, you know what? I like working in the restaurant industry better. Maybe I didn't want to be a server. I wanted to be a chef or a cook or whatever. Right. And I'm going to do that. I don't want to be a paralegal. So we stopped hiring a lot of those people and just started hiring people with experience in that field because of that reason. They like this industry.
Yeah.
legal industry sucks. You got to deal with crazy clients, crazy lawyers,
Deadlines,
judges.
stress.
They can be difficult too.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
But when you have a masseuse come by once a month, it can't be
Massage
hard.
therapist. They like the word massage therapist. She's gonna be upset if I tell her masseuse.
I'm gonna talk to Shane about adding this to our benefits
Hey,
package.
she does it. She's
Yeah.
here 2 days a month. She's got 28 other days to come to
It's
your
gotta be
place.
so nice.
15 minutes. The staff loves it, but
Yeah.
people still quit. And I'm like, you know what? If you want to leave a job where your boss is going to pay for you to get a massage in the office, you're on the clock. I don't want you here. I don't need you.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
I think more importantly than ever now, it's important to have, support staff, that people that you can tap to come in at any moment, whether it's abroad or it's here, whether it's you outsourcing or you bringing people in,
Right.
and small businesses are struggling the most because these big companies are globbing up all the workers, and then
Target put out a post. You could. They're hiring. It was in the news. They're hiring people for $24 an hour.
Wow.
I think $15 an hour is the person who stands there at the self checkout and just makes sure that you're not stealing, but they can't do anything.
Right.
And then $24 an hour is for the person above that or something, because they need. Think about it. It's
So
Target. They can't
what
close
does this
down.
lead to? What is that? If everyone's getting paid more and more and more and more and more money, what does that lead to? Inflation.
Joe Biden inflation.
Stop it. Attack. Uncalled for attack.
Are you triggered?
I'm so triggered. I'm micro triggered right now.
Oh no. So inflation. We got.
But
inflation.
we have, I think I'm a member of an association called American Immigration Lawyers Association, and there's a lot of immigration attorneys out there that are making the argument that immigration could really help, counter inflation.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. I think there's opportunity here.
Right.
Oh
my God, there's so much opportunity here to
Yeah.
do whatever you want. I mean, you can go to law school,
Right.
and they'll pay you in loans to go to law school, which is insane. So yeah, cool. Anything you want to shout out? Shout out to Joe Biden.
My boy Joe, how you doing? Miss you. Wish you were here.
Oh no. All right, I think we're good.
Shout out to you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to have you on. And that was a great story about FIU Law with the donation. I feel like I feel a part of your success now. The deans do you.
Definitely.
Cool.
You got me in their line of vision.
Yes, I love it. Awesome. So cool. We'll see you later. Take care. Bye.